Okay.
Yeah. So, good morning. This is Alok here from Waking Voice, and we are doing a Q&A session today on Sunday. We can put on your videos as well, so so then the interaction becomes much more real. Because only in meditation you have to switch it off. That's how it is. So, tell me, Mr. Bala, what are your first set of questions before we wait for the other participants to join in?
I just listened to your first this thing that calm, how to convert energy into useful energy. Okay, you say that energy from the Swasdhisthana it has to be brought out and submitted to the Lord, so that it will be divine and. But lust is, sometimes your mind never listens to you. So how do we overcome that?
Okay, so there are 2 points. One is your voice was cracking. Second is whatever limited I could hear you, I'll just repeat the question so you can correct me what the question is. How do you convert the energy from Swasdhisthana chakra to the upper higher energies?
Yes.
That's question number 1. Question number 2 is a lot of times, or maybe most of the times, the mind simply does not listen to you and it's wavering.
Correct.
Are these the
Correct.
2 questions?
Yes. Yes, you are right.
Okay. I think the very first thing is you have to look at it as, so there are 2 perspectives. One, the first perspective is the mind is wavering, you bring it back to control. So you exercise authority to bring it control. How do you treat the kids? There are 2 ways of treating the kids. The first way of treating the kid is you exercise control and you bring it back to the discipline which you require. Now, this is required at an age where the mind is 7 years, 6 years to a teenage, 14, 15, 16, 18. But after 18 years of age, you have to befriend your mind. Right? You cannot order, you cannot discipline, you cannot control. This is where Vedant helps. Right? And Vedant tells you that since the mind is already 18 years old, you might as well allow it to roam and look what does it do. So it's like you have a kid which is 21 years old. You cannot say them that they don't go with their friends out. You rather send your phone or you rather send your driver along with them and see that they are doing so that things are in your radar. Observing what they are doing is the second step of how do you control the mind. The first step is by discipline. Do not allow the kid to go out. The second step is observing what they are doing, and third is right being in a position where even if they are doing something wrong, you will correct it, you will right it. Right? This is where your stature as a meditator, a yogi, or this thing comes into action. So it depends predominantly upon the stage in which you are. Okay, how do you control the mind? Generally speaking, what works for a lot of people, including us, including some other yogis or people who meditate, 2 things definitely help. One is actual yoga. Yoga is in breath control. Okay, so in breath, because the mind is inextricably attached to the breath. So you increase the intensity of the breath, and the mind will, start taking a bullet train. And you decrease the speed, intensity of the breath, and the mind will slow down. So the master mantra here is: if you do not have ailments of high BP, heart, or something like that, try and control the mind by controlling the breath, wherein you stop the breath. Inhalations, stopping, exhalations. Right now we do inhalations, exhalations. We do not do stopping, right? That will
Okay.
help in controlling the mind.
Yeah.
That will help in controlling the mind. And obviously the second question is about Swasdhisthana chakra.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, see, when in a situation where we are ready for the yoga, the yoga,
Okay, you can go ahead.
our mind is conditioned, and when in a normal course of work, the normal course of the day, we are never able to realize that the consciousness is not able to take control of the mind at times, and only after doing an act or thing, then we realize that we have done it without even having a thought about it through the consciousness. In the morning when we sit for the yoga or the meditation, yes, we could feel the mind, and we could try to I'm able to try to control the mind, or at least see what the mind is doing about all these things. But during the course of the day, we don't realize what it is happening, and that consciousness is not there with us every moment. So
Oh,
is that so?
actually, that's rightfully so, because if the consciousness is not kind of slept and the mind is awakened, you will not be able to do the material worldly shows, right? For you to essentially do
Mhm.
the material in the worldly shows, you have to get the mind involved into action, and let the consciousness be on the side, in the sleep, in the mode of bypass or standby. Okay. But still, after you take your lunch in the afternoon, do a power nap for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And another thing which you can do is you can quickly restore and reconnect and recharge the consciousness is by doing Brahmari. I'm saving.
That is
I'm not giving Vedantic methods because these are a higher level of methods. We haven't reached there. I'm giving yogic methods. Which are very easy to do. Brahmari is humming. So, as possible, take a long breath and hum internally. If you feel the surrounding is positive, you are in a cabin, you can hum loudly, you can produce the hymns loudly. If you feel no, it's not required, mellow it down. If you feel it's further not required, at least you should hear yourself, not the next person. That also helps reinstigate and reinvigorate the consciousness and brings it back to the mind to observe what the mind has done from morning till that particular point in time. That's one good technique,
okay.
and it works.
Okay. 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 Yeah, the second one about the Swasdhisthana chakra too.
Okay, so in Swasdhisthana chakra, mm, obviously Vedant does mention that there is a lot of knowledge which you can understand, which wherein your chakras are purified, wherein your uh, some of the energy centers, the Agya chakra, the Brahmarand, okay, the Vishuddhi chakra, they need to be activated, because a lot of things go beyond our intelligence or beyond our attention span or beyond our scope of awareness if those chakras are not activated. Okay. Now I'll tell you how it happens. It's a sexual energy with the Swadhisthana chakra. So, there's this. So, take it like this: 4 plus 3, 7. Okay, I hope I can tell you. Right, so 4
Okay.
plus 3 is 7. There are 7 chakras. This is the last one is the Mooladhara. Then there is this one is the Swadhisthana. Then this is the Manipur. Okay, then this is the Anhat. This is the Vishuddhi. This is the Agya chakra, and this is the Brahmaram. So, Sahasrara. You have to start from Mooladhara. because energy comes from the lower pyramid. So it's a pyramid which happens like this. Okay. So you have to do in yoga. It's called Molban. I'm telling simple mechanisms from yoga because if I'm again telling you something from Vedant, right, it will not apply to you right now. Maybe at a later point in time, when the evolution journey is a much higher curve, then you can actually understand. In yoga, it's called as
Okay.
Mool Bandha. Mool Bandha is where you pull up your rectum to activate the energy, and obviously that is the point where you also have your Kundalini Shakti stored sleeping. So there is this in yoga. There's a belief that there's a serpentine energy in the form of a snake, which resides uh, from the Mooladhara chakra, and it activates. So it wakes up like this in the anti-clockwise direction and moves up. It's called Kundalini.
Okay.
So one of the methods that you can do is just it's called Mooladhara. It's called Moolband. Mool band is you pull your rectum up and release. Pull your rectum up and release. Pull it up, release. Pull it up, release. That activates the energy at Mooladhara chakra. And this is similar. It's a, in yoga it's also called as Ashwabandha. Ashwabandha. Because this is an activity which is
That's what.
absolutely similar to what the horse does. The horse, the reason why the horse has that energy is because it keeps the rectum closed, right? And it pulls it backwards. That is where the energy of the
Okay.
body uses. So that particular point needs to be closed, okay, for the energy to be activated. Once the energy starts activating, and it activates really, very fast, you can feel it, and you start feeling that there's extra energy in the body, and that will come to Swasdhisthana, which is the next
Mhm.
chakra. Now, when the energy comes at that particular level, it explodes. So you'll have a lot of feelings for the opposite sex. There's going to be a lot of sexual energy which will flow in the mind. The thoughts will change. Your hormones will change. Right. This is where control is required. There's another good asana which helps does that. It's called Mandukasana. Right. Are you there?
Okay.
Hello. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because your network is
Yes.
so that your
Yeah. Yeah.
video has been switched off. Anyways, so uh, that's so I'll share in the group. There's something known as Mandu Kasim. I don't know whether you are in the group or not. Are you in the group, by the way? Hello.
No.
Okay, I'll share you the link.
No. 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 Look. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so
not doing the asanas. I'm not in that group.
okay. Anyways, I'll tell this thing to Mala, and probably she can share the link to you, and you can join the group. Then there is this
Okay.
Mandukasana, which activates the Swadhisthana chakra. Now, this is where control is required, and you have to pray to your divine because the sexual energy gets activated. This energy is activated to release the sexual energy from the body, not to bring it up. This is where you pray to your
Mhm.
divine that bless me with this energy conversion. Okay, there are a lot of mechanisms into it, but I will not go into it because those are advanced levels, and there's a. This. I am just trying to do a very beginner or a pre-beginner, you know, level of stuff. You pray to
Okay.
your divine will give you the
Okay.
energy to convert that energy to a different form. It will convert the vector of the energy. Okay. Because
Okay.
let's say because we, we
Okay.
we follow Vedanta, so we have Vedantic methods which are of higher order. If I'll tell you those higher order methods, probably you won't be able to implement. You will not get the benefit out of it. Maybe at a later point in time, yes. So you pray to your divine when the energy in
Okay.
the Swadhisthana chakra is activated, and when it gets activated, you'll feel only sexual energy everywhere for the next 24 hours. 48 hours, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever it is. Right? So then you have to pray to a divine
Okay.
and get his blessings, his or her blessings, and then you'll feel that the energy has converted. You will not feel the urge. Then the energy moves to the next round, which is Manipur chakra. Otherwise, it will dissipate from the body. If not controlled, it will dissipate from the body. That's for sure.
Correct.
I hope I've
Okay. Okay.
answered it.
Right.
Long questions, very long answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's definitely. I think we have to move a lot forward to achieve that.
Hmm. There are also mantras in yoga, right? We'll do that, but then again, you have to, you know, reciting a mantra is not easy, and for you to actually get benefit out of it, okay. You can do that, right? There is Ram, Reem mantras from the Tantra side. You can do that. That's also not a problem. Any mechanism which works for you, right? And even the mechanism of breath also works,
Okay.
but as long as the mind is focused towards the breath, okay, and you pull only the air which is on the abdomen. So there are three shades of breathing: from the abdomen, from the chest, which is thoracic, and from the shoulders, which is columnar. You only pull the air which is at the lower level, which is from the abdomen. Even then, the energy will move up.
Mm.
But I'm not sure how much you'll be able to do that and practice and get results out of it.
Okay.
What
Okay.
else?
Right. We'll try. We'll try.
What else? Hello.
Oh, no, no, nothing more from my side.
Oh,
Uh,
still you can because
Nothing more from my side. Look,
your voice is
can
completely
you hear
cracking.
me?
Audio is also gone. Hello.
Hello.
Your voice is completely cracking. Your video is gone, and your even audio is half. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you? Okay. No, nothing more from my side, Mr. Alok, as of now. Anyway, I will practice. I think I need to practice more to achieve what I really wanted in that. Okay.
Everybody wants to convert the sexual energy, right? But then you have to practice yoga. Only then you can practice meditation, right? You have to practice any kind of physical activity so that the energy in the body is activated. So I'm presuming that if you do any of the physical activities, very soon the meditation thing takes over, and then the mind takes over of the body, right? Because so we also live in the material world. We also have those duties. We also have those chakras. But then you have to focus your mind inside your for a higher audience. Right? Once you know who you really are, you reiterate that you are the consciousness, you are the consciousness. Automatically, reiteration of that particular statements, that state, that stage, invigorates the energy of a different kind in the body. Right? That's how it is. But mechanical
Okay.
means I've already told you now.
Right. Okay. Okay. No, the morning when we sit for the meditation, I could have that consciousness and everything in whatever guidance that you are putting in. Then as the day goes, I'm not able to. I mean, at times I tend to fog. I mean, it's not coming to my mind, to my consciousness at all that things are happening. That's
So
what
it's perfectly
I
fine.
was trying.
And that's how it has been. That's how it has been designed to do it. Do that as well. It's being designed because if you would have been purely aware, like how yogis in Himalaya do, the higher degree of awareness, that's also called higher grade of mindfulness. But then it will not happen on day one, day zero. Slowly it will happen. When you're aware of your actions, first you are aware of the mind, then you are aware of the actions, then you are aware of every thought, then you are aware of every breath, right? And that's a very, very slow state of action. In a modern, in a fast world, you might as well lose it, and that's perfectly fine. So there should be no repentance in you that you are not able to be consciousness while signing the documents. You are not able to be the consciousness if you are giving a command to a junior or subordinate, or reporting to a senior. If somebody says you something bad, you are not the consciousness, you become the mind and you become sad. That's how the mechanism is. But then the idea is that 1%, 2% changes in the material world all, all should come back in the 10 minutes where you empower the consciousness and delineate and delinquish and disempower those mental activities which have happened in the day. So it's like a 0 to 1 thing.
Mm.
You cannot be consciousness 24/7, right? In the material world, it's very difficult right now. At least at the level at which we are speaking, right? If you meditate for 6 hours, 10 hours daily, then obviously the consciousness levels are so highly developed that you're so aware of everything. Okay, so even then the the so-called dharma starts playing through you, right? Then you're kind, compassionate, nimble. Then behavioral changes start to happen. But then initially,
Mm.
right now, even if you are able to do good quality, 100% high high performance meditation, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, that's sufficient enough to give you material benefits. This is what we think.
I think will definitely it has a change. It has definitely the meditation helps. The awareness increases, no doubt. But then, as I told you, the awareness is not there all 24/7.
Yeah, it will not be there.
That's what.
Initially, it will not be there. It happens after years of practice.
Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't
right.
happen day
Let's
zero.
try.
Yeah, because you have to train the mind to be conscious of its actions. When the mind itself is wavering and it's not under control, how do you train the mind to be conscious of its actions? Once the mind is made aware of its own actions, only then you can draw the control from the mind and say that now you will not be allowed to do any actions unless and until I, the consciousness, command you to do this
Right.
action. So it's a phase-wise journey of evolution. Right? And like example, we have also done Vipassana.
Okay.
In Vipassana, it does happen that the mind becomes very sharp, it becomes very nimble, the awareness levels are very high, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Right? But then that's it.
Okay.
It is in 24 hours. See, when you come to the material world, the speed, the frequency, the energy, and the vibrations of the material world do not necessarily allow you to be consciousness. Because even if you're there, it's very difficult, right? It's possible, but very difficult.
Yeah, I understand. Understand.
So anything else, or should we wind up
No,
the session?
nothing more. Hello. Thank you. Anyway, I'll continue. I think I missed your session on anger. I will just go through it. I just had, I went through uh, the first one. Now I need to go through the anger management, which I missed yesterday.
Yeah,
Let me just go through.
that was a very light
Thank you.
session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Mm,
coming on board, and look forward to have you regularly so that we can
okay.
do some great meditations together.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.